The Global Poverty Project's vision is an end to extreme poverty by 2030, which sounds a bit ridiculous, really. It's only 15 years away, but we want to reduce the number of people who are living in extreme poverty from the current 1.2 billion down to 0. And we're going to do that by challenging and changing systems and current practices. We're going to challenge it by building a movement of people who are going to get politicians to make better decisions. And it started by recognizing that if you want people to help you change things, you've got to understand the issue better. Most people think extreme poverty is an incredibly complex issue. That's one thing. The other thing is, most people assume that nothing's actually changing. I mean, how many people here knew that extreme poverty has been halved in the past 25 years? And then I wanted to talk about what it is we could do here. What is it we can do, sat in this room, to affect change in places we may never have been before? And it's policy and its structures. Because it's companies in the UK and in Europe and in America, and it's governments that are creating policies that are making it more difficult for people to rise out of extreme poverty. And so what we focus on at the Global Poverty Project, and it's really important that when you're trying to tackle something, you're very specific in the thing that you want to challenge. We can't do everything for everybody all of the time. The thing that we really want to tackle is how do we get the governments in the West to make better decisions so that companies and organisations are helping remove those barriers to people fighting it out of extreme poverty. And that's what we are concentrating on. The biggest challenge that we face is, as I said, that people don't really understand the issue. So this campaign, Live Below the Line, really helps people to start to experience what it's like. It's not patronising because there's absolutely no way you can ever really experience extreme poverty, right? We want to give people a taste of what it's like. So the extreme poverty line is the equivalent of $1.25 a day, or £1 a day. So it's anybody who lives on less than that amount for everything. So food, water, clothing, travel, education, healthcare, everything. And what we've done is we've challenged the public in our markets to live on £1 a day for 5 days, just for their food and drink. I'm starving, I've got no energy, how am I going to get up tomorrow and go to work? How would that person have the energy to feed their families, go to work and try and pull themselves out of extreme poverty? And one of the great things about it is it really starts you thinking in your mind about the experience of being in extreme poverty. They're thinking, talking with their friends about these experiences. And so we're educating people, but also inspiring them to take action. And it was received extremely well. The one thing that came out of it, though, was people were saying, okay, now you want me to do something and I'm inspired to do something, but where and how and who with? How can you facilitate me taking action at the right moment so it has the biggest impact? So we realised very quickly that building the movement was going to be more than just in simply inspiring people. How are you going to be able to explain to people the impact of your project or your product? And one of the things that we've done at the Global Poverty Project is recognise that if we're going to create a movement, we need to talk to the mainstream, people that aren't already engaged in these issues, people who need kind of populist culture in order to get them to the table. And so we tell stories in a number of ways. We have a Global Citizen Festival, which happens in Central Park every year. This year it's Jay-Z, No Doubt, and they perform in Central Park in front of 60,000 people and on NBC at the exact time that the UN General Assembly is taking place. So when all world leaders are all in New York about to make decisions on the next 15 years for the world's poorest people on the planet, we have 60,000 people in Central Park who are saying to government, you need to do more, you need to be more ambitious, and you need to make better decisions. But those people haven't just bought a ticket and turned up. The concert, in terms of money, is free. But what you have to do is take action in order to get your tickets. So in order to come and see Jay-Z this year, you have to have taken 6 or 7 different actions on extreme poverty. And what we'll do is make sure that those actions have a timely political impact. And when we're taking action against companies and governments, and one of those actions is to the Norwegian Prime Minister, what we'll do is invite the Norwegian Prime Minister to the festival, to live on NBC, to make an announcement on whether they're going to support what we've been calling for. So what we find in our journey is that people might come in to see Jay-Z or whoever, but they go through this platform, they learn about the issues, they're inspired by the content, they take action, and then when they get to the festival at the end, in the shadow of the UN General Assembly, they see the people that they've been lobbying on stage support their call for action. And there's no better way of building the movement than demonstrating that impact in that way. And all of our data on the platform shows that people who are coming in purely for the tickets are staying with us for months to come and continuing to take action after the festival. So really the second thing that I would say to you when you're continuing to develop your projects is, one, how do you get people to experience it better? And two, how do you tell the story of impact?